Oh yeah, it's your boy Jason. I'm in the mood, love. Lately I've been constantly thinking about you, babe. You drive me crazy, yeah. Girl, I want this. Got me on love in my feelings. Oh, what a feeling, yeah. I know the first time I laid eyes on you, that you would be here forever. I'm not being arrogant, and I still can't take my eyes off you. 'Cause you
All right,
make me
so
better.
out here trying to get this light together. What's going on, y'all? We're in the marriage shop. According to this video, we at least halfway into the marriage shop. Anyway, our mouths are in the marriage shop. So it's Mike and Wendy. Hey y'all, it's Monday, and we're doing it a little different today. So welcome to the marriage shop. And the temperature, as Wendy likes to report, is in the mid 60s. We're in Virginia. Well, no, actually, we just crossed over into North Carolina. It's beautiful out here today. And you know, we've been on like this crazy epic road trip that has taken us, by my calculation, by air probably about 1,000 miles, by road probably, I don't even know, we're probably getting up to 1,500 now by the time it's all said and done, maybe 1,800 miles on the road, and that's all since Saturday morning. Crazy, am I right?
Yeah.
And so we're actually recording. We're gonna be chatting with you. Actually, as you watch this, you'll notice that we might be chatting, and that's because we're actually recording this, and you'll know that because by the time this goes live, it'll be dark. It's not dark right now. We have some shadows. So, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I mean, you know, it's daylight savings time. It's my time of year. I love to fall back, and I love the fall leaves, and it's pretty good. So, I mean, it's a little cooler than I would like, but I'm good.
All right. And so yeah, that's it's a marriage shop. So, but make sure, you know, we want to make sure we're going to be we're live tonight on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and so make sure y'all like it, share it, set up your alerts so you know when it's going on, so you don't miss one. What are you going to be talking about tonight?
Yeah, what are we talking about tonight? Well, what did we talk about last week?
You will often ask that question. Last week we talked about so it's basically about holidays, right? It's about how you celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, is it, you know, do you agree on how to celebrate? And if you don't, how do you come to that? Some of you were like, not an issue.
Yeah,
We love them all. And we're in agreement on them all. And some folks, you know, they're bringing together different cultures and different customs, and so just kind of depends on where you're coming from, right? But that's what we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
And because I think it was 1st of November, actually, the day after Halloween.
Yep.
All right. And so this week, though, I mean, we've been doing like seriously the trains, planes, and automobiles things for you old school movie fans.
Yeah.
Well, no trains, planes, and automobiles though, all day. And so, but we're gonna talk about, you know, something a little fun tonight, like traveling. All right, as you all may be able to notice, at the moment, my hands are free, and we are not driving a Tesla, right? So this is my version of Tesla, which is, well, Wendy. It's my hands-free driving, right? So I'm kind of chilling right now. Wendy we're in her very capable hands. We just crossed from Virginia into the northern central portion of North Carolina. We're on 77. If you've not taken a drive just for the sake of doing it, especially during this time of the year in the fall, 1 October, hey, go out and just drive up or down Highway 81 or 7, you know, up in Virginia. 81 runs from New York Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, and it keeps going. I don't even know where it goes, right? But it is just an amazingly beautiful drive this time of the year. We've been enjoying that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people in Georgia like to go up to Helen, Georgia, you know, for the same reason, right?
Yep.
Up in those mountain regions just to see all the different trees, all the different colors, and everything. So I'm not going to be looking at y'all because I'm trying to focus on the road right now and the state troopers.
Cops. I mean, you know, hey, we love y'all. We love y'all, law enforcement. Yeah, but I mean, it's, you know, it's one of those days. It's a very nice day, though. There are quite a few police cars out. You know, apparently this is the day to be towing your structure, your everything. Oh, we're going down to one lane too. So
yeah,
that'll be cool. You can drive slow. You can like look around all you want to. Anyway, today we're just curious if you drive, when you drive. And by the way, before I get to that question, there was a time when I used to love driving. When I was younger, I loved it. I was all up and down the East Coast from, you know, Massachusetts all the way down to Florida, all the way over to Texas. Loved driving. But there's something that happened. Like, I think it was maybe our last drive from Texas, when we left San Antonio, when Winnie and I left. We were stationed there. And there's something about that last drive, it kind of broke me. I mean, maybe it was, you know, it was the dogs and the kids, and it was a whole different kind of experience.
It was a different experience. I think when you're young and you're driving, for those of you that like to drive, you know, there's this whole thing, right? I mean, when you're in your early 20s maybe, so you have a little bit of time under your belt, and you think you're the best driver in the world, and you want to see if you can actually go as fast as your speedometer will register, and some people try to just bust that. I mean, I think when I was in my early 20s making my trip from Texas to DC in a Honda Civic Del Sol.
Come on now.
Had the top off.
Two-seater.
Yeah, two-seater. Had the top off and was just blazing. That's a nice drive. I mean, that's when it's fun because you stop when you want to stop, you eat when you want to eat, and you can just go. You don't have to account for everybody in the car.
That's, you know what? Yeah, that's true. Because I tell you what, between my Jetta and my little Toyota Camry, it was very much that. Just, you know, can I beat my last time to the place that I went before, or, you know, just kind of dipping in and out, stopping, getting out quick, you know, just not stopping, whatever. Nobody, you know, got to go to the bathroom, nobody to feed except me.
Yep.
And I had a whole process. I rarely ate. Get a big cup, a lot of ice, drink that down, stop, take a break, fill it up, go again. I mean, that was kind of the rhythm. And so, you know, and I would, at that time, I would do things like, you know, drink a lot of coffee, maybe get some caffeine, and I could roll that thing for 10, 12 hours. And, you know, and I had to leave like early in the morning, like maybe 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get a couple of good hours in when it was dark.
Yeah.
By the time daylight hit, I was good for like, however long it was daylight, I was good. So, and then I could like suck it up for another few hours on the back end of that. So I could drive really hard, really long. And hey, then you add a few people to the mix. Yeah. And it changes that whole thing, and, you know, so it takes a bit longer to go the same distance, and there's a lot more things to do. And so you find you get there, and it's just like, oh wow, that was so. Anyway, the bottom line is that drive broke me. And I thought, I'm never driving a long distance ever again. I'm flying, or I'm just not going. That's where I was.
So drop it in the comments, like, who is your favorite traveling buddy, right? Because I think we all have one, whether it's your husband or wife, or one of your kids. There's somebody that you can just kind of roll with. And Mike's family, they're all drivers. He comes from a line of drivers. His grandfather drove buses, and so it's interesting just to even hear them talk about how long it takes to get from one place to the next place, and then when they call each other to check in, it's always the same landmarks, right? And so it's like, I'm just outside of Richmond, for example, or what's the other one?
You got Fredericksburg. Yeah,
it's always Fredericksburg.
We always there's something, we dial it in. It's just like, you know, I need to call Lisa. I don't know why. Like, where are you? just passing Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So,
That's kind of fun. So anyway, so who's your favorite traveling buddy? Who can you just kind of ride with, vibe with while you're on the road, and yeah, just drop that in there.
Yeah, I can say, and this is not even, you know, I mean, you're absolutely my favorite traveling buddy. And before you, I didn't really have, well, my dad's closest that came before that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, otherwise, it's like, I'm a loner. I drive by myself. You can get yourself there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to have to talk. I don't want to have to like stop and, you know, until I feel like all that. And so, long distance travel, I didn't really do with a whole lot of people. Like sometimes, you know, me and the friends would travel, but that was just a whole different kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And I would tell you about the time I tore my dad's van up, but that's another story. But yeah, I mean, but I can tell you what, you know, our kids when they're in that good space, our daughters are great travel companions.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it's singing songs, which there's a whole lot of singing going on. I mean, and you know, I mean, you name it, country, gospel, rock,
Yeah.
Opera, Broadway, musical. I mean, it's
All
just
of it.
a mix of a number of things. I mean, and that just kind of makes it fun. I mean, we're not singing like camp songs, but they can get going. And you know, all it takes is nowadays connecting somebody's phone and just letting them kind of flow with their playlist, and they know what we like. So every now and then, like, I don't know, every 10th song we get to hear something that we would listen to.
I mean, yeah, and I like, you know, we like our tastes are somewhat similarly aligned, I think.
Oh, that's
so,
interesting. What kind of car is that?
That's some type of a race cards. I don't know, but wherever that thing races, I'm sure there's a lot of dirt. And it's probably like dimly lit. I don't know. I would put the camera over there. You know what?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe y'all can tell us what kind, if you can see this. Let's see. It's right behind the bug, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, it is, but if you know what it is, highlight it, put it in the chat. But anyway, but yeah, so I mean, I would say, but without question, you are my favorite travel companion, as proven by this very trip, which began began on at what 6:30 on Saturday morning at the Augusta Airport.
Yeah, but not too many details.
Okay. All I'll tell you is that we have visited another country on this trip. We've seen our daughter up in Syracuse. We've seen a couple people. Yeah, so we've been all over. So by the time it's all said and done, I think we will have traveled, 3,000 miles or so.
Yeah, and just know that usually by the time we post that we've been somewhere, we probably already back home. Just saying.
So don't get any ideas. So, yep.
Yeah.
So,
but in terms of driving, right? Who you like to drive with? Mike and I drive very differently, which is why we were thinking. I mean, you guys know that we travel quite a bit. Not. I mean, I guess to us it doesn't seem like it's that much, but when we kind of look at it over the past couple of weeks, we have been hitting the road quite a bit.
Yeah.
But so there is the holiday travel when you know that you're probably, oftentimes people are visiting family and you might be in the car first. So we're not just talking about getting in the car and running to the store.
nah.
We're talking about when you're going to drive at least 2 hours or so.
Yeah.
At least 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who tends to drive? Y'all put that in the chat. Who tends to be the one to drive? Is there one that tends to drive more than the other? Like takes the bulk of it? Is it someone else? I mean, well, it was whatever. One of y'all. Do one of y'all do the bulk of driving, or do you tend to maybe even split it up?
Yeah.
Or drive by exception? Like look, I'm so tired. I can't do it. You go ahead and do it this time. What do y'all think?
Yeah, because we know some couples. We have some friends where who the husband always drives, no matter what. It is just when they get in the car, if anybody's going to drive, it's the husband that always drives.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, and I would say, I always start. And I will drive most of the time actually.
Yeah.
But I kind of enjoy it, particularly if I can kind of get into a rhythm. I enjoy it. But there's sometimes when we just know that Wendy is gonna need to drive, have to drive, or sometimes she just is like, I got it.
And I usually ask you, do you need me to drive? Or if I notice that you're getting tired. But I mean, sometimes you just know that you might need me to drive, but I don't find out until we're actually out there.
Well, I mean,
And then it's like, I'm going to need you to drive.
I mean,
And so I like to
sometimes.
know before we leave that I'm going to have to drive, because then I have to kind of mentally prepare myself, because I mean, and it's changed over the years. I mean, because there was a period of time where I would stay up the whole time, and I was up, I'm talking, I'm engaging, I'm making sure you stay awake. Then there was a period of time where as soon as we got in the car, I was out. I mean, that's when the kids were younger. And then there was, a few years, even, once they got older, it's just, I mean, I'm just tired. I'm in the car, I'm just going to sleep. You got it. And so now I think recently I will stay awake. I'm not talking the whole time, but I will stay awake just to make sure that you're good. And then what's helpful to me is Mike likes to talk. Y'all know that. So he will, I will say, so when was the last time you talked to your dad or your mom? I kind of go down the list until I hit somebody that he's like, yeah, let me get him a call. And then that when he gets into that conversation, then I can catch a nap.
she is not even subtle with it. First of all, I mean, she doesn't. Wendy knows. At least I try to tell her she didn't have to stay awake to make sure I'm going to stay awake. I generally will be okay, but now it's become a thing. It's almost a joke to me because she's like, yeah. So when's the last time you talked to a random family member, fill in blank? And I'm like, are you trying to get rid of me right now? You trying to take a nap? That is so funny, but it is absolutely true. I'm in that conversation for about 5 minutes max before Wendy is fading on out or getting comfortable, laying the seat back.
Yeah, because I know you're going to be engaged for at least 30 minutes to an hour on whatever that call is or whoever you're talking to. The one surefire way to get me to go to sleep in the car is to turn the news on.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a minute.
Yeah,
I haven't done it all this trip because I'm trying to just cut back on my news intake.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, that's true. That's funny. I'm glad you could admit that to the whole world. Like,
What? When
I
you
was
turn
not
the news
imagining
on?
anything. No,
Oh, that I.
you're like, yeah. So you haven't talked to your mom in a long time, have you?
Well, that's not how.
Call
I'd
your
like
mama.
to say, when was the last time you talked to them?
That's true. When's the last time? But that's what it all,
Yeah. That's
So,
cool. That's cool. But yeah, so the other thing that came up that we were thinking about is oftentimes we do it. Maybe you do it. You can let us know. But sometimes when we haven't talked about something, maybe we've been avoiding a specific topic, or there's something that has just been on our minds. When we know that we're going to be in the car for a long period of time, at least I don't know that it's planned, but one of us may bring that thing up.
Yeah. So, did you just point at me? Did she point at me? So, look.
One of us.
Sometimes it is true that there's some unfinished business. There's something that needs to be, fleshed out, talked about, whatever. But when I do bring it up, particularly if I anticipate that we're going to have to work through something that is not going to be comfortable, I generally don't jump right in the car and say, hey, let's talk. Right? It takes me a while to build up the nerve to say, hey, and I'm trying to think of my approach. Like, do I just jump in there? Do I say, hey, let's talk? Do I say, what do I say? Right?
And
so
you wait till we're far enough away that we can't turn back.
Know that.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't be like, turn the car around. Can't be into that foolishness.
Let me out.
You gotta be like, it's gotta be like so far out there that she would never say, let me out. Like, where you gonna go? Right? So, yeah, that is true. Sometimes we will get into stuff. And sometimes we'll find ourselves there. The intent is not really to get into a whole deep conversation, but we find ourselves there.
Yeah.
It just kind of leads into it, where we start. And you find yourself thinking like, if I had just been quiet for one more exit.
Didn't know that was gonna go there.
But I think the car can be. I think there's some upsides and some downsides to kind of handling challenging topics in the car.
Yeah.
I think the upside is that you're here, right? Like last night we were talking about something, and I had a moment where I was almost like, you know what, it's not worth the effort. I'm just gonna be quiet. But it's like, we're here. I can't even walk to another room or go turn TV on or something. We're here. So it's just like, just stay with it a little while longer. I think sometimes having you being in the car together and riding, I think that's a plus, right? Just because you're in an environment that is just all you have. You can eliminate virtually every distraction and just talk. I think but perhaps one of the downsides is that it gives you an excuse not to make eye contact.
Yeah, and I think that's a downside. It could be an upside. It just depends, right? Because there are people who recommend that if you have conversations that you want to have with your teenagers, for example, if you have children that are teenage age or in that range, that the car is a great place to have conversations because you don't have to make eye contact. And so they are able to flow a little more freely, and they don't feel like you're looking directly at them. You're not judging them in that moment, and even if they're in the back seat and you're in the front seat, so there's something to that.
Yeah, but that's teenagers though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, this is a family show.
Yeah, but I mean,
there could be some advantages.
There could be some advantages. I mean, if you tend to have it for a couple. Yeah. If you tend to like have this intense look, or you have that look like, if you want to roll your eyes, or you're looking at somebody like they're crazy or whatever, maybe it's best that maybe you drive for your conversation, so you're not looking at them and triggering them with your face. So if you have a tendency to trigger your spouse with your face, have your conversations in the car and you drive.
Yeah, but then people just look out the window. But there are people who drive and they drive like looking right in your face, even when they're driving.
Yeah, that's true. I know some of these people. I could be related to some, but who knows?
Yeah,
I'll never
like,
say.
Okay.
Like, yeah, some people. Have you ever been quick detour?
Yeah.
Y'all see that? Have you ever been driving with somebody who, like, they look at the people in the back seat, like through the rearview mirror, but it's like an intense stare. It's just like they're driving, they're looking in the rearview mirror. That's a little scary, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, and then now with technology, a lot of cars, I mean, they don't drive themselves, but it's a whole lot easier to drive some cars, right? You put on cruise control, they're just ways to just make it a little bit easier so that it doesn't require as much as it used to require. But we old.
Yeah, well, I think today, I mean, this car, it was just pulling me left and right and kind of keeping me in the lane, and I'm like, man, this is cool, but I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because it may make you a little bit complacent.
Well, it's an interesting thing, right? Because I was saying earlier that we drive differently, and you take up a whole lot of space. Like you're a big person, and you usually drive big vehicles all over the road. You drive big too.
You say I drive big? Is that what you're saying?
Everything, like even the grocery cart, you'll roll through the store and you'll just like roll up and just leave it like in the middle, and I mean it's just like everything will move out of your way.
I only leave it in the middle in the frozen foods aisle because it is wide there, and I want people to be able to get around either side. Otherwise, I will very, very like respectfully like put it on the side, right? But I will drift my grocery cart.
But you drift when you walk. You drift when you walk.
No, I don't mean like drift as in drift over. I mean like drift, like
Tokyo drift.
Like Tokyo drift. Yeah, I'm not drifting when I walk though. And when I walk, I'm adjusting, fine tuning, if you will.
You drift.
And when I drive,
you drift.
Now.
And the only way is so I can say that, right? I can say, hey, seems like you over here. He's like, I'm an expert driver. How long I've been driving? I got this. Like, don't tell me how I'm driving.
It's kind of like no. I'm never saying don't tell me. I mean,
no,
listen,
you don't.
It's kind of like when you park, right? I can parallel park, for example.
Yes.
Right. So if the back wheels are 3 inches away and the front are 2 inches away, I'm not adjusting that. That's for a student, right? You adjust that. Me, I'm good. Good enough. Let's go. Right. Same thing with parking. I want people to be too close to me, but am I that concerned about some of that fine tuning? No, I am not. Why? Because I can. Right? I can take this truck and put it in the space of a whatever, something much smaller.
Large car. But my point in that is that we two of our vehicles have lane departure notification. And it's like the vehicle will tell Mike that he is departing his lane, and he's like,
whatever.
shut up.
That's right.
I'm not departing.
I meant to do what I'm doing. You mind your business. That's what, stop correcting me, vehicle, right? That's what I'm saying. But, I mean, truth be told, I have grown here, and I don't mean to be all over the place with y'all on this, but it used to be a time when Wendy's driving, like if we're like close to somebody, or if she's like drifting, and I don't even know what county we're in. What county is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't know. So, but when she's drifting, she's doing this, and I have like cut down my commenting on Wendy's driving by about 80%. So y'all will never know the real truth. Not today, because I will not immortalize my comments. But trust me when I tell you, Mike's not doing the wind drifting, y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, anyway, as a matter of fact, I see the dashboard lighting up over here. I mean, I'm not trying to see it, but I see it when it lights up. I know what the real truth is.
Yeah, what's funny is, as you're talking about me, you made me speed.
Oh.
The speed went up like 10.
Look at that. That's true.
10 miles per hour.
Must be touching a nerve. There you go, people. Don't touch nerves. Don't trigger nobody. So, I'm sorry, baby. You're doing a fabulous job, for real. I'm going to take a nap after this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I mean, but, it doesn't require that. But we know people who can't stand to have anybody else drive, which is why they're always the one that drives, right? It's like nobody is a better driver than them, or the whole time it's like, oh, it's just so nerve-wracking when somebody else is, you're driving too close, you're driving too far, how early are you going to signal? And I mean, it's just a whole event.
It is a whole event. I mean, and it used to be, I must give you credit, because Wendy, she doesn't do it as often now, even though she does a little bit more, because she knows now I'm prone to miss that GPS instruction, because when GPS has two things back to back really quickly, and so you think you're doing one thing, and you like take off like and then boom, it changes up on you, right? And so every now and then, I will have a tendency to, do my own thing, and not intentionally doing my own thing. It's just I will make an error every now and then, believe it or not. So I welcome those little nudges, but Wendy used to nudge all the time. So you taking this right turn? You know this right coming up, don't you? This exit is coming up in about 2 miles. I'm like, baby, it is 2 miles. She's like, yeah, but you all the way in the left lane.
Right. Because you ride all the way to like the last second, and then you get over and make the turn.
You know why, people? 2 reasons why I do that. 2 reasons. And somebody is saying it right now, because the left lane is what? The fast lane. Exactly right. Right? And so if I beat all those people in those right 2 lanes, then I know that my opportunity is coming. I believe. So I need to go faster, and I believe. I know the hole's gonna be there. Right? It may be tight, but as I have matured, it's gone from this tight to I've opened it up a little bit, because I want to make sure.
I will admit that now you do a little bit better job of at least getting in the lane.
I think
a few seconds before.
I think I am losing I pull my hair out. You know why? Because I get in that lane. Typically, I give myself about half mile to get in that lane and be in it. Right? Used to be, if I got a quarter, I'm good. I'm gonna make it work.
Quarter.
Maybe an eighth. Whatever.
I mean, it's like literally you're going from. It's just. Yeah.
The picture that my wife is painting is that. I mean, I know some of y'all envisioning like this, me like just barreling straight over. I don't do that. I need to give myself time to be. It's kind of like football. I will get into a lane and establish my position in that lane, and then I'll get over again, and boom, there. Or again, it just depends on how many lanes there are. So, yeah. But anywho, Wendy will she'll typically these days let me do what I gotta do, and she doesn't bother me about distance unless it's getting really precariously close, and she's like, hey, I think that's exit 17. I'm like, nah, it's 16.
Yeah, I mean, and I think in a lot of ways that is kind of like marriage, right? When you've been married for a long time, you get used to the way that the other person does things. So early in the marriage, you may be more prone to comment on it, ask why you do it that way. If you're annoyed by it, show that you're annoyed or frustrated by it. Sometimes you might bring it up. Sometimes you might say it's not worth bringing it up because I don't feel like getting into it. But the longer you're married and the older you get, the two things happening at the same time, I think that it's just kind of like there's no need. This thing right here is not necessarily something that we need to stop the world for.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we made it this far, so we'll
if you want to get over at the last second, okay.
Right. I'd be like, hey, you know, if you want to tailgate, it's okay. You're not on your phone. I guess it'll be fine.
If you want to abandon the grocery cart in the middle of the aisle, I'll just grab it and move on with the grocery cart.
Abandoning the grocery cart.
It's like you're abducted by aliens.
You gotta like peel off. It's like all this bulk. I just need to go over there right now. It doesn't take all this cart. Nobody's gonna bother this because it's not even paid for yet.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're funny.
What
like
is
grocery
true?
cart.
I mean, it's whatever you drive.
Grocery cart.
Yeah.
I don't abandon my car.
Nope.
I just, you know. Yeah, but you know, in my driving, I believe I gotta. Bottom line is, whether it's abandoning the grocery cart or sitting in the driver's seat of your vehicle, it's like I gotta get whatever I gotta get where I gotta get.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in the most efficient way possible. Used to be about the speed, now it's about the efficiency. So, yeah, that's it.
And then, I mean, we stop more often. So, we used to talk about people that it took them forever to, like, get out the car. You see people and they're, like, getting out and
Stretching.
It's just looking like it's just painful. And now that's us.
Well, it's you know,
when we get out,
getting to be us.
we gotta stretch.
we got, yeah, it's funny because you don't just jump out of the car now and just start walking, right? you can't do that. So
like,
you gotta you gotta flex your legs a little bit, you know. And I'll take the opportunity as I'm walking around. If I open Wendy's door, if she's not out yet, you know, I'm stretching all the way, getting that circulation back. And it used to be, you know, like, so that's why I say efficient and not fast. Because before, man, it was like, okay, we're gonna stop here. You gotta lay it out. We get this food, use the bathroom, and boom, get on the road. Now
you got 5 minutes.
You got 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, boom, everybody back here. Now, I'm trying to learn how to savor the journey, right? So we'll stop, and it's like whenever we get back in the car, we get back in. You know, and if there's an outlet mall along the way, I'm telling y'all what, man, I used to cringe. It's like I'd be driving and hopefully everybody will sleep past the outlet mall exit. Because
it would speed up when it gets to the outlet mall.
When they'll wake up like, what? Did you pass that on? I'm like, no, I wanted to make sure that you looked sleepy to me. You were sleeping. Like you were literally sleeping, so that means you're sleepy, tired, whatever. So yeah, but now sometimes I will even plan the trip based on if there's somewhere that might be interesting on the route. But I think we mentioned this before. Wendy will she'll see things like, oh man, I want to see that. Now I'm generally gonna say okay and stop usually, but
yeah, but I'm usually the only one. Like when we took Morgan to Syracuse, I was looking up the first time. I was looking up like interesting places to stop or landmarks, which is not something that I normally do, but it was like, hey, we're taking this trip. This is a route that we've never been. Yeah. And finding stuff. And everybody is usually pretty good until they get tired. And I'm like, oh, but this looks like it would be fun. And then everybody is just like, do we have to?
That's true. That's true.
I can't believe you want to go to this underground cave.
That's funny. Because the weird thing is like, you are energized for whatever reason at a time when nobody else is energized.
Nobody else is.
And so there will be those days where it's just like, you want to go see the largest paint can in the world. So
and we drove
I
over there and took
flashed
pictures.
a look at Morgan in the rear view, and she's just like, and I'm like, yeah, but you going to see that paint can. though.
I think it was
Yeah.
Benjamin Moore. Is it Benjamin
It might.
Moore?
I don't recall. I mean, it
World's
might be.
largest paint
World's
can
largest paint can.
on 81 heading north.
Yeah, saw that was it last night? Night before last? No, it was last night. Actually, we passed it coming south. But you know, but once you do some of these things, and that's what I think I've learned over time is that there's some things that ordinarily I would never consider, right? But if you only consider the things that you always do, then there's a lot potentially that you're missing out on. And so we've had some great memories based on Wendy just on a whim saying, hey, I think I want to see that. And I'm like, man, come on, baby. It's like, And I'm like, we're going to get there 2 hours later. And she's just like, yeah, but I want to see it, right? Making memories. So we go and we make some memories. So, yeah, we made a memory this time. Can we say? No?
But check out our pages and you'll see it. Either at the end of the month or maybe next week. We'll put some things out there to just kind of capture where we've been this month.
This one was really cool.
It was really cool. It was a place I've never been.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I would say, for those of you, and you know who you are, like, what's your hurry? Relax, slow down. Like, if you have somewhere to be, leave, a little earlier or whatever, or kind of reshuffle the trip so you have an opportunity to just stop and do some things and see some things. Before we left Syracuse, Morgan she took us over to see to Green Lakes State Park, I believe that's what it's called.
Yeah. And she had been mentioning it a few times when we've gone.
Yeah, she's been wanting to go see this, and we're like, why not? And so we even learned a little something new there yesterday.
Yeah.
But there's so much out here, and so I started off saying that I'd abandoned the whole idea of driving, but something happened, and all of a sudden, well, I think it was retirement actually, retiring from the Army and not having just a hard date to be back in place somewhere.
Yeah.
And so we decided, we have time, and so let's take this. I don't remember what that first long trip was, but I discovered that I actually enjoy driving again, just the ride. And so even now when Wendy and I have something to do, we'll kind of evaluate what do we need, what do we have to do, where do we have to be, what's the demand on us, and if we can get on the road sometimes, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's great. Like this whole drive, literally the whole drive between upstate New York and where we sit right now, it is just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, well, frankly, there's a couple of spots that are like wah. I'm not gonna call your state out, but for the most part, it is phenomenal. And so as long as it's this, got a comfortable seat. Some of y'all might need to bring along a pillow. I actually have 2 different travel pillows too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just require a different level of firmness or softness if I use them at all. But just a comfortable environment and a cool travel partner, man, come on, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, but then you have to do things that are going to make it a good trip, right? So if the other person is going to listen to music that you don't like, then you might want to make sure you have some headphones so you can listen to your own music. Our kids definitely have their own headphones, so they can listen to whatever they want to listen to and not have frowny faces when we're listening to what we want to listen to. If the other person is going to freeze you out because they have to have it cold, then take a jacket or a blanket to make sure that you can adjust and regulate your own temperature versus getting an attitude because you're too hot or you're too cold. And then, I mean, even before you get started, right? So Mike is right. I mean, we used to hate having to travel with him. Especially if it was early in the morning when we had to leave, because it would start like 3 days before, and then the night before it's like, okay, like he's telling everybody, even the dogs were sitting there looking at him like, okay, what is it gonna be? Like, we gonna get up, we're gonna be out of the house by this time, so whatever you need to do this, and be ready to go. And so then if we get up and we're moving slow, then he would get all, you get the angry face. Then he's like making everybody mad, saying stuff to each person. Everybody in their own way is just like, and then we could be like 5 minutes behind or off pace on the time, and it's just like, oh man, I told everybody we needed to be in the car by such and such. It just sets a whole completely different tone before you even get started.
So, I pause button. I'm trying to play nice today, but look, if there is, generally speaking, there was some objective to meet on the other side of that time. Now, and most of those times, I was not driving somewhere just for me because I felt like going somewhere. So if you want to be where you said you want to be, then you're gonna need to be out of this house by 7 o'clock. Be ready by 6, whatever we said, right? But how many times did we leave actually on time? Like over 20 years or so.
Yeah, I don't know, but I can say
Maybe
that there was a shift, right? Well, that's not true. That's not true. I mean, because nobody wanted to start off the trip in that way. I mean, no, that's true for all. There were 3 of us.
What?
There were 2 of us besides Mike that were ready to go. There was always one. I will say
always
who.
one.
Always one.
Now, come on, we gotta be fair. It's not always the same one, but yeah. So
One speed.
Getting everybody in sync to leave on time, that just didn't happen. I mean, and so I had to make the adjustment. Like, okay, whatever. Now, whatever it is, wherever we need to be, have to be whatever. It's just gonna have to be what it is because nobody was making the adjustment.
Well, account for the time, or allow for the time. I mean, if I have to make a recommendation on that. So, because it was never that we were trying to be late or that we were trying to make everybody late. I don't think anybody intentionally was moving slow, but it always felt like it was perceived that way. And I don't think he was intentionally trying to set everybody off or be mean, but on the other side of it, it always felt that way.
Well,
and so that made it challenging.
Well, yeah. Why would I try to set everybody off? The truth of the matter is, I was set off myself because everybody knows how to wash your own butts. Everybody knows how to pack clothes. Everybody, you know what I mean? Go to bed, get up, let's go. Yeah. And so to me, if there's no overt attempt to get there, or even we're late and it still is dragging. At the end of the day, here's the deal, y'all. It's I don't care if you're mad. Be mad, right? But you can be mad and move. I don't care, right? But it's I'm not the one who got up late. You did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the one who stood in the shower for 30, 45 minutes. You did. I'm not the one who's still packing, looking for shoes and drawers. You are. So.
Yeah, but then the other thing is, you know yourselves and you know your kids. So if you're a morning person, whoever your morning people are, they're going to be up, they're going to be ready to go, they're going to be excited and on it. The people who are not morning people, when you have that early morning departure, is always going to be a struggle. So then we, had to start doing things like, hey, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to talk to anybody. Just put your stuff in the car and just get in the car and you can go back to sleep. That's all. That's what we need you to do. And that helped. That worked. But then we would have people just in the car. It was like they didn't say anything. They'd be in the car. It's like 30 minutes. Where is so-and-so? In the car already. Sleep. Now,
yeah, there was only one. So-and-so is only one person. But I would say this for all of you, because I know some of y'all are really pressed to get there and to leave and all that and be on time or be early, whatever it is. I would just say every trip's not the same trip, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know what you're thinking. If you're inclined, as I have tended to be, there's a reason why you plan to leave at a certain time, right? Maybe it's about the traffic. Maybe it's about getting it. Maybe whatever it is. Sometimes it's important. Sometimes it's just not as important. It's just important to know the difference, so that doesn't become just a one way of doing things. The same thing once you actually get on the road. Sometimes there's no time for a whole lot of stopping and taking the scenic route and shopping and all that. And sometimes you can actually just stop and smell the flowers a little bit. So you need to be able to stop and smell the flowers, or whatever it is you do when you stop.
Look at it. Yeah. So it feels like we've been doing this for a minute.
Well, 44 to be exact.
Oh, okay. That's a long time.
That's all. This
I
feels
think-
like we've been doing from. Okay.
I think so. I mean, I
All
think, thank you guys for riding along with us for the last 44, 45 minutes.
Yeah, me good, great. Okay, yeah. So I have whiplash. Oh, did y'all see that? That was a we hit the brakes hard on that. So listen, we're here on Mondays at 7:00 p.m. Eastern time in the Merit Shop. We invite you to join us. Like the page, share the page, join us on YouTube. Some people don't do Facebook, and I get it. And so we're on YouTube as well, streaming simultaneously with our Facebook Live at 7:00 Eastern on Mondays. All right. So we would love to have y'all join us. So we
Yeah.
appreciate you so much for joining us tonight.
And next Monday, we're going to be in Vegas.
Oh, we can tell them that.
Maybe.
I didn't know that. I thought we were still being
I think
secret squirrel.
so.
Okay. Yep. I guess that's where we'll be. So we'll see y'all next Monday. One way or the other, we'll see you next Monday. All right. So, do you have anything else?
Nope.
Before we get ready to get out of here.
No, that's it.
Okay. Oh, well, of course we're gonna pray. So you don't close your eyes tonight. You just look straight ahead. All right. I got you. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
All right.
Thanks.
And would y'all pray with us for a moment? Heavenly Father, we just thank you today for everyone watching. We just ask you bless their homes, bless their marriages, God. Thank you for safe travel for us and forever whoever else is on the road. And help us, God, to use everything as an opportunity to just learn and understand a little bit more about connecting with you and each other. So we thank you, we love you, we pray these all of the blessings in Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
So, all right, y'all. I think that's it, and we'll talk to you from somewhere. I don't even know where we'll be. Oh no! Wait a minute. I dropped. Wait a minute.
What is happening?
Oh gracious! Safety.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm glad I'm not driving.
Yeah, me too.
I think that's your phone that I dropped. Actually.
Oh.
So, anyway, we out.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah,
That's loud.
oh yeah, oh yeah. It's your boy JC. I'm in the